Welcome back to Liberty Code. This is your host, Juan, and today I am joined by a very good friend of mine. His name is Raf Arias. He's a retired Navy surface warfare officer who swept destroyers for a land farm in the Dominican Republic. We're going to dive into how he built his farm and what is it like raising cattle there, riding horses and cultivating, fruit trees. While at the same time, he's balancing his life responsibilities back home in Rhode Island. So, Ralph, brother, welcome to Liberty Call. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, Juan, thanks for having me, brother. It's a pleasure being here. Know we talk a lot on and off. First, I want to say you're doing a great thing here, man, by doing this program and putting everybody, at least motivating everybody for the retirement life, which is great. I can't complain. I retired 2 years ago, and this is awesome. Probably one of the best decisions that I did.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. So I know you very well, but a lot of our listeners, they don't know you. So could you fill us in on what is it that you did in the Navy? How long were you there? Tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, so Raf Arias, I'm Dominican. I was born in the Dominican Republic. I immigrated to the United States when I was 11, back in 1992. From a small town in the Dominican Republic called Cotuí. It's a small town essentially right at the center of the island, un campo, like what we'll call it. Came to New York, started 6th grade. So I did junior high and high school in New York. Pretty good student throughout high school. I was straight A student because my mom, she will beat my behind if I didn't bring in good grades, So I did my thing. I knew what kept her happy was for me to bring in good grades. So I just did that. I had my little part-time job and stuff. I worked at a bodega growing up in New York and, get my couple of dollars here to go out and stuff and, party. From there, I decided I wanted to go to college. So I had a full ride scholarship to college up in upstate New York, pretty good aeronautical college. But honestly, I was already burned out. I did so much in high school that when I went to college, I was doing okay. I wanted to party too, so I ended up having an accident. I was playing football there with no gear, of course, and I ended up getting tackled and I broke my right arm. That happened right during midterms, my first semester. So I was popping pain medication just to try to keep up with the pain level and stuff. And it didn't go so well in the midterms. I felt like when I got my grades, ended up being B's and C's. For me, that was a failure because going from straight A in high school to B's and C's, I'm like, okay, college is probably not for me. So I spoke with my mom. That happened in December. Told her that I was done with college for the time being, that I wanted to come back home. Now, the school that I went to was about 9 hours. New York is a pretty big state. It was like 9 hours from the city where I grew up in the Bronx.
Dang.
So I spoke with her. She told me, yeah, come back home and stuff. I enrolled in another college in New York, but I still didn't feel well. So I started watching, a lot of TV when I was home and stuff. And the Air Force came across the TV. I'm like, man, this is awesome. So I wanted to do aeronautical engineering in college. That's what I went to college for. And I always had a fascination for aeronautics. And seeing that the Air Force had a lot of planes, I went into the recruiting station. And
did you want to be a pilot?
So I wanted to work on planes. I wanted to be more like a mechanic, and pilot was not in my thought process, but if it happened, oh well.
Okay.
So I'll go to the recruiting station. I remember in 125th in Harlem, and spoke with a recruiter. I took the first little test, right before the ASVAB. Did pretty good. Recruiter sent me up to take the ASVAB the following week. So when I go in, the recruiter didn't show up. So I'm like, okay, this is awesome, man. Well, damn, what happened, So I'm leaving. I'm already bumped down and stuff. I'm like, man, I thought this was going to work out, whatever. So as I'm working out, this Navy recruiter come out. Remember, he was a Filipino guy. He was probably like 5'2". Hey, come here, where you going? I'm like, yeah, I was supposed to take the ASVAB and stuff. I came to talk to my recruiter, but he didn't show up. They're like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to work on planes. And honestly, I want to leave the house. I'm already 18, I don't want to be home. I want to do something different in life. They're like, okay, we got more planes than the Air Force. I'm like, what? You're the Navy. You're supposed, for what I seen on TV, you got ships. You're like, nah, let me show a video. So he played a little Top Gun video there and stuff in the aircraft carrier. I'm like, oh, man, this is awesome. What?
That's awesome,
Yeah.
right?
I'm like, what do I do? He's like, take this pre-test. Of course, I did well. He was like, do you want to take the ASVAB? I'm like, when? Tomorrow. I'm like, so let's do it. So went in the next day, took the ASVAB. I did okay, in short thing, man, I ended up signing up for the Navy. I thought I was going to work on planes and stuff, honestly. And so that's a different story there, right? So fast forward, I came back, did all the paperwork. He asked me how quick you want to leave and stuff. I'm like, as soon as you could get me out of the house. I'm overdue. I'm 18, living at home. I got too many rules with my mom, My mom is Dominican. She's hardcore as they get. You know what I mean? So he's like, okay, cool. I could get you out of here in 2 weeks. I'm like, great. This is now going into February. So I'm like, awesome. Let's go. So I go in and I speak with my mom. Hey, so I did something today. Like, what happened? I'm like, yeah. So I signed up for the Navy. What is that? I'm like, the military. What do you mean sign up for the military? I'm like, yes. You're supposed to have my permission. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm a grown man. I'm 18. She's like, you ain't going nowhere. I'm like, what do you mean I'm not going anywhere? I already signed up. You can't get me out. So she called a recruiter. She tried to get me out of the contract, brother. And
wow.
yeah, it was big there. I'm like, man, I'm a grown man already. This is for my best. I don't want to be home anymore. I want to do something different. And college is not working out for me, right? So yeah, February 23rd, 2000, I embarked on the journey called the Navy, man. And, came out of the Bronx. I grew up in the hood in the Bronx, man. And I think it was one of the best decisions of my life, man, joining the Navy. Went to Great Lakes, did a good old training there. So all along, again, I'm thinking about I'm going to work on planes, man. I'm like, after learning what, ADs, AM, and all that stuff did, I'm like, great, I'm going to work on planes, right? So I don't know if you remember, like when we sit down with what do they call it, career orientation guy there. Classification, right? So when we sit down with that guy, I'm like, yeah. He's like, so what are you going to do? I'm like, I'm going to work with planes, So he's like, hey, yes. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to work with planes. That's what my recruiter told me. He's like, nah, buddy, they got you messed up, man. You might be working around planes, but you're not going to be working with planes. I'm like, what do you mean? This guy told me. So he showed me a picture. I forgot what aircraft carrier was. Like we had the yellow gear, the ASs. And he's like, you see this little piece of yellow gear, a tall tractor? That's what you're going to be working on. You're going to be what we call an AS. You're going to be a jack of all trades. But no aircraft, my friend. You're not going to be close work. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. Yeah, so from there, I'm like, cool. Hey, it is what it is. I learned the job. It don't matter. So I graduated boot camp. They sent me to Pensacola, did the ASA school. From there, I was blessed. They gave me a C school right after for the crash and salvage. So I went from there. I went to Jax. And in Pensacola, I got to choose, where I wanted to go. So I'm like, man, it's first time being away from home. I want something closer to home. And I met my first ex-wife there, the mother of my two oldest, and she was going to Oceana. So I'm like, okay, now let me follow her too. I'm gonna be close to home. So I got to pick Theodore Roosevelt in Norfolk, Cary. That's what we met. And yeah, man. So went there, Theodore Roosevelt First Duty Station. From there, decided to stay after the Theodore Roosevelt decided to stay in Norfolk. I already had 2 kids with her and stuff. This didn't work out between me and her. We ended up getting divorced. And from there, I got orders to Norfolk, FRC Norfolk, or AIMD FRC Norfolk now. And after there, the carrier went well. Had a couple of things going on there, and I had my bachelor's that I completed while I got to show duty, and I completed my master's as well. So I did, went full time while working. I was actually going
Mhm.
to get out in 2007. That was my mentality. I'm like, Navy is great and stuff, but I think I could do something else. I study criminal justice, so I wanted to go into the FBI. Again, bachelor's and master's while I was show duty. I applied for the FBI, but the waiting for it was like a year and some change. So here I am.
Wow.
I made I made E5 in the carrier. I made E4 first time out E5. But then you remember they shot our rate down when they made like 103 first classes back in like 2003,
Yeah.
2004.
I was one of those.
There you go. So you remember that, right? So I'm over here like, and I made E5 right there when that happened. When they made 103 first class, that's when I made E5. So I'm like, okay, so now the rate is going to be shot. I remember I had a master chief, good friend of mine and great mentor, Prasad. He's like, man,
Sam.
and Prasad,
Sam.
it's my boy to the day, man. Great mentor there.
Yeah,
It's
man.
like if you're gonna stay in the military, think about the officer route. It's like you're a great sailor. I think you could do great things. If you go the officer route. Plus, you see already how things operate. In the list size, so you're gonna be great at it. So I went to shore duty
Yeah.
again, completed a bachelor's and a master's, and again, I was thinking I was going to get out and stuff, and had everything ready. Went to top class, um, took the FBI entry exam. But they told me it was a year out, so I'm like, okay, maybe getting out right now is not a good thing with two kids. I'm not going to venture out there. Um, so I had another friend of mine that Senior Chief Cordero. You probably remember him as
Oh, yeah.
well. He followed
Yeah.
to shore duty to FRC Norfolk. And he's like, man, instead of getting out, what did you think about the officer route? Just really think about it. You got about 6 months left, just concentrate on putting in your package. I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be a great officer, strong accent still, I still got the mentality of the Bronx. I don't know if that thing will be for me, right? So short there, man. He gave me the opportunity, gave me the time to, get my package ready. I had a pretty good friend of mine. He retired captain, Javier Medina, a great mentor, great friend. We went to church together and stuff. He helped me from like the beginning to the end of my package. Um, our CEO on the carrier too, Admiral Hanlon, who retired Admiral, he was our captain there.
A great
Yeah,
guy, man.
great guy, man. That was another guy that helped me out too. He gave me a letter of recommendation. He's like, "You're gonna get it." He was already in airline. He's like, "You're definitely gonna get it." I'm like, "Awesome." God knows, right from here. So submitted a package, and I heard right away, man, that I was selected for CS. And um, I chose surface warfare officer. Honestly, I didn't want to do yeah, well,
Boo.
man, I mean, everybody told me the same thing in the aviation side, right? The maintenance officer that I had back then, he's like,
Went to the dark
well,
side.
I wouldn't call it the dark side, man, but I'm a hands-on type of guy, man. I didn't want to be the guy, sitting
You
behind
are.
the desk, man, and just telling people what to do. I like to get dirty, I've always had the
You like to get into action.
I always had the AS mentality, man, which was good and bad when I became service warfare officer, right? Because I still wanted to turn ranges, and lo and behold, I found out quick that that wasn't my job, right? I still did it all the way to the end, man. That's what I love to do, still to the day, right? So became a surface warfare officer in 2008. I went to a destroyer in Norfolk, USS Bulkley. And from there, I went to Mayport, USS Philip PC, a cruiser. From there, I did shore duty. They sent me to Villanova University. I was actually a college professor, man, in Villanova. It was awesome, right?
Nice.
So the career progressed perfect. I couldn't have asked, man, for like, better places to serve at. Sailors were great, as and yeah, so got selected for department head school at Villanova University. I went to USS Fitzgerald right after the collision in Japan, and
Yeah.
that was the turning point for my career. I would call it that's what I put the icing on the cake for me to retire. Being prior, did 8.5 years enlisted before a commission, but when I saw how things really operated in the politics behind the military, and how we treated those sailors there and the leaders after that collision. That was my, you know what, you need to retire. This is probably not what you want to do for the rest of your life. Right now you are, Johnny on the spot. You're the number one, department head that we have on the ship. But next day something happens and you are the worst sailor in the world. So I'm like, okay. So I dealt with the aftermath of the collision. I wasn't there for the collision, but I dealt with the whole aftermath. I had a great CEO there too that came after that collision with me. He chose me to be XO as a lieutenant, so I was the XO of a destroyer. We did everything, and we brought the ship from Japan to Mississippi on the heavy lift. Got everybody settled there. From there, my time was up. I got orders. I went to Lake Erie, another cruiser in San Diego, as the chain. When I got to Lake Erie, it was, hey, I'm here to do a job. I already got my mind set up. I know I want to retire coming from Fitz, right? Um, did that, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to retire from a ship, retire from sea duty. It's not an easy task. So send me back to the East Coast. So I was blessed. They sent me to Newport, to the schoolhouse, surface work officer schoolhouse. I was teaching engineering, damage control, and I had 3 years orders there, so it was pretty good. 3 years where I was able to do everything. The last year was mainly to transition over, so I had the time. Great leadership there, all the way from the CEO all the way to my department head. They were awesome. When I told them that I was there just to retire and stop doing my job, they let me do my job and then take care of personal stuff, to send me off for the retirement, man. And couldn't have asked more,
Hmm.
man. Retirement came. Uh, it's been great since, bro. I've been retired since 2023. And all I do is take care of my son now. He's graduating next year, going to college. In the Dominican Republic, as you know, I spend time between both places and stuff, and it's been great, man.
So you retire, and after how many years again?
23 years.
And after 23 years, you find yourself with a DD-214. And do you already know that you wanted to go back to the DR and buy some land?
No, so growing up in the Dominican Republic, I always wanted to have a cow, just one cow, right? So I remember when I was, it was about 8. My father, he wasn't part of my life, but he would come around every once in a while to visit. And one time he came by, he was a general there, retired general, and then he got into the cattle business. He came around, he helped purchase a couple of cows. I'm like, hey, I want a cow. My grandfather, who I grew up with there, um, he had a piece of land, and he looked at me, what you want a cow for? I'm like, I want to be able to milk a cow. I want to feed cows. So he gave me one cow. I remember he brought it down from the truck and stuff, man. I tied that thing in the back. I
Nice.
gave him a bath right away. It was like it was a dog that I had in my house. We took it to my grandfather's farm, man. And I used to go see that thing every day after school, man. I used to go see it every day, just pet it and stuff. Got pregnant, had a little calf, and it was awesome, man. I'm like, wow, I got two now. This is great, right? But then a couple of years later, my grandfather had to sell the farm, and then I had to come to the US. So I had to get rid of my cow, man. That was like the saddest day of my life, man. See my two little cows just
Damn.
go, right? So again, growing up, I'm like, you know what, one day I'm gonna have my farm, I'm gonna have cows because that's my passion, right? It was since I was little. And sure thing, man, when I retired, I'm like, wait, this is probably the best time now. Probably I'm able to live this dream.
Yeah.
Navy provided me a lot of opportunities. Again, coming from the Bronx, well, coming from the Dominican Republic, small town, you've been to my town, to the Bronx, you could consider the Bronx a third world country too at times, man.
I can imagine.
It's
Yeah.
rough there, right? To joining the Navy, essentially coming from nothing to being able to, buy houses, invest, retire. And then I'm like, okay, this is a time now. I got the investments and stuff. I'm able to get some money out. Let me do that. So went to the Dominican Republic. My brother and my sister-in-law were a big help. They're already established there in Cotuí. So they opened the door, you know.
The brother that I met over there when I went
Yeah,
there last time
yeah,
with
my
you.
brother, my sister-in-law.
Okay.
Right, right. So they
Yeah, they're awesome, man.
thanks, man. Yeah, they ask about you all the time too, man. So they open the door to their house. You know, they live in the Bronx, so they just have the house there to go on vacation and stuff. So I was able to start traveling, start looking at farms. So came across my farm. Like I saw four other farms before that, but when I went to see the farm that I own now, I'm like, whoa, this is everything that I dream of, man. This is wow, this is it, right? I got like all the fruits you could think of. I got a river in the back of the farm, and everything is there. And it's a big piece of land
And heels.
in hills, exactly. So everything is like, wow, this is awesome. This is it. And God put everything in order. You know, I was able to, again, coming back to the Dominican Republic after like, you know, almost 30 years, you know. Yes, I know some people there, but all my family's here. Everybody opened the doors for me, essentially. You know, everybody was there to lend a hand. And yeah, man, I was able to buy my farm. You know, I was able to find someone that got to take care of my farm that he's like, you know, a father figure. He's awesome. You know, he take care of the
Yeah.
farm better than I do, honestly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it's been great, bro.
That's awesome, man. And did you, well, how much time at the beginning, right after you retire, how much time of the year do you spend in the Dominican Republic and how much in the US?
So when I first retired, so I did my retirement ceremony in December December of 22, and my retirement was March 1st of 23. So December, I spent the whole month there. I'm like, all right, let me start getting my field wet. Because before that, I started traveling back to DR in 22. Before that, I spent like a week here, a week there. But December, I'm like, let me make the bold move. Let me go to DR for a whole month and see what this is about.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure, man. It was great. So from there, I just started traveling back and forth. So I went December. I went back for my birthday in June. Went back in September. So June, that's when I found my farm, June of 23. And I did all the paperwork. Didn't get it until like about August of 23. Then I went back, I believe it was like November. I went back all the same year. And yeah, I've been going just back and forth. Now I spend more time traveling. I spend 2 months. I usually go for like, try to spend the whole summer there. So I spend 2 months there now. And yeah, I go back and forth now.
Anyway, hey, how much land do you buy? I couldn't tell. I'm not very good at estimating just by looking. But how much in size is the
So
land?
I got a total right now, 270 acres. Ended up buying,
Holy
yeah,
moly!
it's a big piece of land. I ended up first buying about 100, I believe it was like 170, and then I bought another 100 afterwards, which is fairly close to each other, essentially. Yeah, man, I try to save. You know, now when I was in the Navy, you know, living the single life after my divorce and stuff, it was just blowing money away. Uh, and not
Yeah,
everything is about blowing money. You know, you right now we're used to living a luxury life here in the States, right? Because the military is a good paycheck. Can't complain. You know, lieutenant
yeah,
commander over 20 years, I was getting great money. You know what I mean? But what I did with the money,
yeah,
I was blowing it away. You know, go out and spend $200 or $300 in a dinner or whatever, go to a club, spend $1,000 like it was nothing. You know what I mean? So that was
dang.
money that I was spending just doing nothing. I'll travel, whenever I felt like it and stuff. But now that I see like my passion is me being in my farm. I go to my farm, bro. I gotta look at the cows, man. I'll get in one of my horses, just drive around, and I'm living my dream. For me, that's what life is all about now. Enjoying what I have the passion for in this, which is my.
That's awesome. Hey, to put things into perspective, how much money have you put into farms so far with the land? Oh, by the way, for this, I'm going to show clips of the videos because we have a video with Raf and he was showing us the farm. So I'll put some clips here so you can take a look. But he's got pigs. He's got obviously a lot of cows and a few bulls. What else you got? You got
I
chickens.
got
You got
chickens, I got
horses.
horses. I got a
Yeah,
couple of goats now.
fruit trees.
Yeah, I got all.
You got some goats now.
Yeah, I got a.
So and how much money you put in there so far? altogether, you think, an estimate?
Honestly, man, I lost keeping track because so what I spend on the land, um, I'll say that all the land was close to like $100,000 in all the
Okay.
land, right? But then all the money that I invested in, because the farm that you saw now when you went is not the farm that I bought. You know what I mean? That was
It was just
it was
land.
just land and it was all wooded. It wasn't being taken care of,
Yeah.
right? So I had to spend a lot of money, and like I told you, dividing it. So the cows don't go in and kill all the grass in one day. Build the
Yeah.
house that you saw there, that the house where my guy got to take care of the farm where he lives at. So I spent a lot of money over the years, getting the farm to look good like it is now. So it's ongoing project, man. I put money in it, but again, it's same thing. I'm maybe buying a car here and just throwing money in the car, making it look good. I do that there. And I know
Yeah,
it's
man.
it's it's adding value to the farm.
Yeah. And you also bought a villa.
I do, yes, yes. I got a little house that I bought
No,
there.
it's not little. It's a big ass house.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I bought a house there. It was a brand new house when I bought it, and I've done a lot to it. Just making it secure, making it look better. And yeah, it's a place. At least when I go to DR, I got a place that I call home. I don't have to travel
Yeah.
anymore. At least again, my brother was a bless to me. He opened the door to his house, but it's not the same. For me to just pack a little, backpack here and be like,
Yeah.
I'm going to DR where I have a closet. I got all my clothes there. I got my truck there, as you saw. I got everything there in my house now that I could show up just whenever. And it's my house.
Damn. But so let's rewind back a little bit. During your transition, while you were preparing for retirement, w- do you think that the resources the Navy provided were they suitable? Were they good? Do you think they prepare you well for retirement, or
Not
what
at
are your
all,
thoughts?
man. Not at all. I went to top class up in Newport, and it was trash, man. Honestly, it was probably it. I should have stayed out my work and just research everything myself, man, because they didn't show anything. Like the knowledge that I have now
Mm.
for transition, and even looking at your podcast, you know what I mean, like stuff that you do now, and just people just talking about, how their transition went. I think I would have learned more than what I did there. Tap class that I went to was more,
Wow.
hey, by the way, yes, you're gonna retire. Okay, I'm a lieutenant commander. No, I'm gonna retire. And do you know the
Yeah.
benefits? Yes, I already know the benefits. Here's a book, and a couple of people just talking about, different programs and stuff, and not even going into the VA, not even how to put a claim in. We didn't even do that. It was more like, yes, we
Mm.
got Amvest here today. They're gonna talk about how to submit a claim. Oh, by the way, yeah, submit a claim after you retire so we could help you. Okay. Why should I have to wait? I got a medical record with everything that I have. Why should I have to wait till I retire to
They
submit
told
a
you
claim?
to submit it after
Afterwards,
retirement?
yeah. So most of these like Amvest, and I forgot what the other one. Don't quote me on it, but it was most of these companies that go into like that and that help you. You got to do it after you retire. They would not help you. At least that's what the guy told us. They would not help you like to submit it right before you retire. So that's the job.
Wow, that's
Yeah, that's the job of the VSO, and I wish they would have
yeah.
like gone over that. So when I read the book and stuff afterwards, yeah, that information is there, but nobody took the time to actually explain to us, this is a process, right? This is the 120 days that you're supposed to submit a claim. Thank God for me.
Yeah.
The VSO that I worked with to submit my claim, he's a retired senior chief, great guy, man. That works in Surface Warfare Officer School. You know, and he took me by the
Yeah.
hand. What I was like, Raf, I got you, man. This is what I do. I went through the process. They messed me up too when I retired. He retires as senior chief, and they messed him up. So, like, I'm gonna take you by the hand, and we're just gonna do it. A short thing, man. 120 days, we're going to sit down and we're going to submit your claim. And it was simple. I'm like, why couldn't they say that at top class? You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I didn't get no information out of it. It was
Yeah.
there were a couple of captains there, a couple of master chiefs too, some commanders, and we all thought the same. Like, what is the purpose of even having this? For what I hear now, they revamped it. It's better
They
now, at
did.
least. But yeah, I didn't get
I
anything
think
out of it.
so. Yeah, wow, man, what a contrast to what I've seen so far. Because they actually have a process in place now where it actually makes sense to me. You go to your initial assessment, and then they classify you into a risk tier. How are you a high risk, moderate risk, or low risk to transition successfully? And based on that, right, they determine the whether you're going to need a lot more detailed help that or not. And I'm going to my actual executive tab next month, but after the assessment, you have to go to an initial counseling, which was also pretty informative. But that was the initial counseling was just to let you know, hey, here's the process. I know you have a lot of questions. I'm not going to answer the questions right now, but your questions are going to be answered throughout this process. And I thought that was really
That is
informative. I was like,
awesome.
okay, I know what to expect, right? I know, okay, I'm going to my executive tab in October, and then there I'm going to get details on this and that. And after the initial counseling, even so, you have now what they do. They call a core. I think they call it core, a core tap class. And then on top of that, you have specialty tap classes, which last 1 or 2 days, which include entrepreneurship, includes, oh, I forgot, don't quote me on it, but there's a couple of different ones in there. Oh, like job searching or
Okay.
something like that, or government job searching, where they focus on those things. Uh, for some people, those are mandatory, depending on your risk
Okay.
classification. And for others, it's not. You can just choose to do them or not. But I haven't done it yet. So far, I'm pretty impressed, and it's completely different from what I hear from people like you. Like, I mean, it was horrible and it was a waste of time. I heard that from so many folks. I'm here to report. So far, so good. I don't know. I can't compare with you, but I think so far, so good.
That is awesome. That is good to hear, man. I think the Navy owes to the military owes to us, at least for a transition. It's not the same me and
Yeah.
you retiring as officers, with over 20 years, than let's say an E6, retiring with 5 kids, you know what I mean, or whatever, economic situation they have going on. So definitely I'm glad that they're doing better right now, man, because I know transition could be hectic, if you're not mentally prepared, you know what I mean, and you have a lot of bills, a lot of responsibilities, it could be different. So I'm glad they're doing something about it now, man. Because again, when I went through, we had E4s, E5 separating, or we had like two E6s that were retiring. And if I didn't get anything out of it, imagine them. I'm pretty sure they didn't get
Wow.
nothing out of it either.
Yeah. Even in the initial counseling class, which was just one day, like even there, they told us, hey, 180 days before your official retirement, you need to submit that BDD claim. So that means that prior to that, you know, you need to start getting in touch with the VSO. I mean, a month or 2 months prior to that, give them a call and set up an appointment and start gathering
Right.
documents so that at 180 days, you get that submitted.
It's 180
I thought
now?
that was really useful.
It's a 180 now?
180.
Okay. Because it was
Yeah.
120 when I
180.
retired.
Yeah. Another problem that I think was happening during the time you were separating is that, and maybe this happened to you and you can share that, but I remember friends of mine that were retiring at the same time you did. They didn't get their DD-214 for like 10 months after their retirement. But you can't even get a job without a DD-214. People were in a really tough spot during that period of time. But now, I tell you what, the Navy has turned that around in the last year or so. Uh, the Navy is giving the DD-214 90 days prior to you
That's
retiring.
good. That's good.
Amazing. Amazing. What a
Yeah, yeah.
turnaround. So glad they
I
did
was
that.
able to
Did that happen to
No, I
you?
was able to get mine. I got it like a month after I retired. So that team up there in SWAS, they were awesome, man. And I got it. It was like a month after I retired, so it was quick. Because you cannot
Yeah,
even
it
get
wasn't
you,
bad either.
you
That's
cannot even
good.
get your ID, man, without that 214. So how do people like 10 months, bro? Yeah, that's crazy. What I heard about that
Crazy.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't good for those folks. I feel so bad for them. But now the DD-214 also, it gets delivered to you electronically. Like you don't have to go to an admin office and go pick it up and sign. Like it gets emailed to you.
Nice. That's great, man. Good to hear.
Yeah,
Good to hear.
yeah. The Navy has made some great improvements on that. I don't know about the other services, but the Navy has. I did hear that some other services are different, that they won't give it to the service member until the day of retirement. And I heard that in some of the Facebook groups that I've joined, for transitioning and retiring separation, which is kind of sad. If you can give it to them
Right,
earlier,
exactly. Why
why
not?
not, right?
Exactly.
So another thing with that, so you file your claim, you got your decision. Did you have? Did you use FMP or the VA at all? I don't think you can use VA, but FMP in the Dominican Republic?
So, I have not started looking at the, medical part yet in DR because I only spend, a month here, 2 months. But we do have VA facilities in the Dominican Republic. Yeah,
You
we do.
do?
We got
I
about,
didn't know
yeah,
that.
we have about, I believe it's 9 offices now in the Dominican Republic. Yeah,
Whoa.
you get everything there. I got a good friend of mine. He retired. He lives there in Cotuí too. He's back in the States now. He's going to college here, but he put me up essentially with everything, all the programs they got there. And you could get your meds, you could get seen there. You have everything now in the Dominican Republic. So there's actually a lot of
That's
beds.
awesome,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, man. They and they got it in the different areas. They got it like north, they got it in the capital, they got it down in Punta Cana. They have them all over the place now, man. That it's a great
Wow.
facility. They even have one there, which is awesome. I have not been to it, but my buddy told me about. It's like this big compound. Think about like you going on a paid vacation to like a farm, but like a nice farm with pools and everything, right? You go there for like a week, and they take care of you for a whole week. Everything is inclusive. It's called,
Wow.
what is it called? Camp. Uh, the name skips me now, man. But Campbello. It's in a place called Campbello, in a place called Bonao, which is like about 30 minutes from Cotuí. And they give you got to bring your medicines and stuff, but they do mental health, any issues that you have and stuff, you could like talk to therapists and stuff there. And they have doctors there, to take care of you. And essentially, you're going there for a whole week, man. It's like a whole vacation that you go, which is great. I haven't had the chance yet, but yeah, in the near future, I'm definitely gonna pay him a visit too.
Man, that's pretty
Yeah.
awesome, dude. That's great. Hey, another question I wanted to ask you: did you get a job after retirement, or you didn't? What was the deal? Did you just did not work
No, I have not worked, so
at all?
I'm dealing with some medical condition and stuff, that I go to the VA for. And you know, with the way that I invested in stuff, retirement and disability and my investments, you know, I don't think I have
There were
more, you
plenty.
know what I mean? I think it's plenty, take care of my son full time at the house and stuff. Um, and if I see myself working, it's gonna be like a remote job. I definitely don't want to have the 9 to 5 office job tie me up anymore.
Hmm.
Or it will have to be something that remote. I'm working from home and stuff. Yeah,
I mean, I think it's awesome that someone like you can retire from the military after 23 years, and you're in your 40s,
yeah, 44.
44, mid 40s, and that's young, man, and have enough money, make the right decisions to prepare yourself for retirement to the point where you don't have to work if you don't want to, and you have the freedom to do whatever you want, even to choose to go to the Dominican Republic. I'm assuming because it was home, it's where you grew up. But not only that, but the cost of living there is amazing.
It is. Yeah.
When I visited there, I was pretty impressed. I was like, wow, because we stayed in Las
Hmm.
Terrenas, right? You
Yeah.
remember that? And it's touristy, right? But even there, with touristy prices, it was still very, very affordable.
Exactly. It is.
The DR is affordable.
Yeah.
I know some people they do consider it when it comes to
Yeah. So
retirement.
DR is great, man. It's like, again, it's a third world country, and I'm definitely gonna emphasize that, but it has the nice places that you could stay. You got places there,
Yeah,
La Terrena, Punta Cana, up in Puerto Plata, that you could spend easily,
Cabarete.
Cabarete, you could spend easily there, $5 million more, if not more, for a house. And like you said, yeah, the cost of living there, if you're gonna live a normal life, you could live a normal life. Like my guy at the farm, I give him 15,000 pesos, which is what
Hmm.
is that, like 200 something dollars, and he lives out of that the whole month. Somebody there with a good salary gets paid 30,000 pesos, which is like $500, $500+ a month, and they live a comfortable life
Wow.
there. It's all about you know knowing to live within your means. And that's what I tell, a couple of friends of mine that are thinking about retiring there now. It's not the same for you to go visit like when you and Nan went there, on vacation. Yes, you do have a budget of what you want to spend, but let's say you go $5,000. I'm going to spend $5,000 there in 2 weeks. Got it. But for you to think that you're going to live a normal life there, spending $5,000 every 2 weeks, it's probably not doable. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah.
I've learned to, live within my means when I'm there. I said, I got the most important thing there. I got a house and I have a car. That's probably the most important thing, the most expensive thing that you go when you go, as a tourist there. So that it's all about planning, brother. It's all about planning, like everything we do in life, right? If you plan properly, you see yourself moving, not DR, just any country next couple of years. Have you visited a country? What is the country about? How's how you're gonna be spending money and stuff like that? How you set yourself up, it's gonna determine, how you're gonna live your life there.
Do you recommend people who's never been to the DR to consider the Dominican Republic as a retirement place?
I'll definitely do. Yes. So Dominican Republic is great. Um, I know we get a lot of bad rep for crimes and stuff, but you win. You saw how it is. And I I tell people same thing in the U.S. I guarantee you, people will not go in the Bronx in neighborhoods that they don't know, and you just walk around freely, right? Same thing in the Dominican
Yeah.
Republic. You know, I've been now going back and forth to the Dominican Republic like constant for the past since 2022, right? Past 3 years nonstop,
Hmm.
and thank God nothing has ever happened to me. You know, so it's a great place. Now they got great schools. Now, if you got a family you want to move to, I got a friend of mine that moved there with his family. He retired chief, and he lives in Puerto Plata now, wife and 2 kids. So it's a great place to raise a family. The cost of living there is way cheaper than the States. With a retirement check coming in, you should live a decent life there if you live within your means.
Yeah. You know, uh, talking about crime, we were there in Las Terrenas, and Nan and I walked around at night. We felt perfectly safe over there, and I'm assuming that's because it's a touristy area, and they want to keep tourists feeling safe and crime free, so some more people will come. But yeah, but there are places. The point is that there are places in the Dominican Republic like Cabarete, Punta Cana, Las
Mhm.
Terrenas, right? All these places that are really safe. And yeah, I didn't have a problem with crime over there. I didn't see anything.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, yeah, you went to the tourist place. They got it's called Tour. So essentially the police for the tourists there, that they always walking around and stuff. They're always monitoring everything. They got a lot of police in that area because they want to keep a lot of tourists coming and stuff. But anywhere else you go to in Dominican Republic, and it's like I said, it's just common sense, right? We've been around the world, bro, in the Navy, right? So we know how to travel to different
Yeah.
places, and we get brief on, hey, this is what to do, what not to do, right? I mean, you wouldn't go, even let's say I went to PI, right? And in PI, they kept us like in a big square in Manila, right? Essentially downtown with the nice hotels. like, hey, you're not allowed to leave this area, the green area, right? Because out of here, we're not responsible. Well, I mean, that's common sense, right? If they're telling you that, they're telling you for a reason. Same thing, like,
Yeah.
if anybody that go visit me in the DR, I'll tell you, hey, just be careful with this, right? Unfortunately, even some cops, they're crooked. You know what I mean? Just got to be mindful where you
Yeah.
go. You always carry your military ID around. If you're in the military, they show them that and they respect that. And just don't go to
Mhm.
places, man, that you don't know. As even me to the day, man, I don't go to towns, and go out at nighttime there thinking that I'm from there and I own the place. No, I respect. I know where to go. I know where not to go, and thank God everything is great.
Yeah. Even right outside my door, I keep we always talk about this in this podcast with different guests. Even right outside my door, it's you can get mugged out there. So it's like any other place. And I think people that have not traveled the world much or at all, they are so influenced by the media, right? And the scare tactics and the fear that cartels and
Exactly.
muggings and this and that. Well, I we got drugs here
There
too.
you go.
We got muggings here
There
too.
you go.
You can get robbed right out here.
Exactly.
You just gotta be smart.
Yeah,
Like you said, you don't go to the areas where are prone to be, to have crime.
exactly.
And it's unfortunate that some people just they don't feel comfortable with traveling like that. Yeah, I have people when I went to the Dominican Republic. Um, Prior to leaving, people were telling me, "Whoa, what resort are you staying in?" I'm staying in a resort. I'm getting an Airbnb. They're like, "Whoa, you're not going to an all inclusive?" I'm like,
No,
"Yeah, I'm getting an Airbnb. I'm going to eat in
there,
local.
there you
We're
go.
gonna go to a farm. We're gonna go to the lake." And like, "Whoa,
There you go.
bro, that's gonna be dangerous." I'm like, "What dangerous? What are you talking about, man?" It's unbelievable, man. What you hear from people,
Yeah,
not dangerous at all, man. You took us to Koitui, and we'll show some clips over here too, where you guys have this beautiful lake over there, and it was a lot of fun. And everyone we met in the DR, all your friends out there, they were so welcoming, man. So friendly, welcoming. Like I felt like part of the group
thanks, man.
right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's amazing. Um, yeah, I just hope people uh, become a little more open minded and actually look it up. Right?
exactly. And you had the opportunity to drive there, man. So at least like I said, you're not
Yeah.
afraid of traveling. You're not afraid of moving from place to place. A lot of people don't do that, man. A lot of people, oh, I'm going to DR. Where you going? I'm going to Punta Cana, all inclusive. You're not going to DR. You're going to an all inclusive
That's
in
not the
Punta
DR.
Cana. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I tell people that, like, somebody tells me they go to Punta Cana. It's like somebody telling me, I went to Cancun, and then they saying, oh, it was Mexico. No, you went to Cancun. You didn't go to Mexico. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a
Yeah.
huge difference. So
Cancun is nothing like
the,
Mexico.
nothing at all. Same thing with Punta Cana. Punta Cana is not a description of what Dominican Republic is. So, yeah, man, it's
Yeah. So many people miss out. They miss out out of the culture, out of the food,
so
out of the people, the interaction
exactly.
with people.
Hey, I know
It's a little
a lot
sad
of
to me.
people, bro, follow you and stuff. I'm a phone call away, brother. Anybody that want to come try it out, man, I'm more than open, to show them around and stuff. Because at the end of the day, man, prior militaries, we want to take care of each other. Anybody that want to come out, try, or even thinking about moving down there, I know a lot of people. I got the resources down there, and if I could help anybody out, just shoot me a quick call, man. I'm always open for it.
Sounds good, man. If you're good, I'll put whatever contact you want in the description of this podcast. So if you have any
Of
questions
course,
or anything, you can reach out to Ralph
of
right there.
course.
Um, hey, so what is your vision for the future now? What's next for Ralph? Are you ever or or are you even thinking about making a full-time move to the DR eventually, or no? You just want to right now. You're just thinking about part-time here, part-time there.
So June next year, can't wait for you to come fast enough. My son, he's graduating, going to college. So that's the next big milestone, right, for Raf. getting a little knucklehead in college, man. Thank God he's a great student, bro. And
He's a good kid, man.
appreciate it, man. He's awesome. I can't have asked for a better son, man. He straight A's right now. So we're looking into Ivy League or NYU, so he's definitely leaning towards NYU right
Nice.
now. We're starting the process now. So getting him into college first. And from there, yeah, I'm honestly thinking about, the full-time move there. I got a young daughter, she's 5, but you know, in communication with her mom about, how to come a little cry because I'm definitely part of her life. I don't know if I'm in Jersey right now with her. I spend a lot of
Right.
time with her right now. Uh, but I wanna see myself in DR. I want to spend more time in the farm. I want to make the farm more productive. The cattle right now is more of a hobby. I got 30, 32 right now in production. They all pregnant, thank God. So they they are producing now, right? But I want to see myself there, more full time, hands on, because it's not the same thing. Yes, I own the farm there, and I got cattle and animals there. And the guy that take care of the farm, he does a great job. But it's not the same thing. Me over the phone telling them what to do. That me being there, I know what to do, what I want, my vision. That and definitely I want to build another building in the farm, so God willing, I want to build a little retreat there so I could spend more time there instead of just going.
Or so that I can go there sometimes.
Bro, mi casa es su casa always, brother. So whenever you want to come, man, you're more than welcome. You don't have to tell me. So definitely.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'd like to. I, I was just thinking about the time that you and I, we got on these 2 horses, right? And we were riding around your farm and up and down those hills. It was beautiful. And we were talking. I don't know if you'll remember, but we were talking about the definition of success, right? So, some people, everyone defines success differently. Success is subjective,
Right.
right? It means different things, right? So um, a lot of people say, "Well, you're so successful." Well, it depends, right? It depends on what you think success is, and in your case, you told me, "Hey, success is this right here, man. Just being able to come here whenever I want and ride my horse and enjoy my land, and feeling the freedom and the peacefulness that I have here." Um, and and that got me thinking, man. A lot of people really, when you say success, they right there they tie to money.
Right.
How much
Hmm.
money you make or how much money you have. But it's that is not true at all, man. It's not true at all. You can have $5 in the bank, but you can be very successful. Depending on what success is to you. Um, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to say, I just wanted to share that with everyone listening. Yeah, you taught me a lesson there, man. I appreciate it.
Definitely, brother.
Always
Like I
learning.
said, man, and before, it's funny you mentioned that, when I lieutenant commander, actually before that lieutenant, I was driving a Porsche. I was driving a Porsche Panamera. I went from Cayenne to a Panamera.
I remember that car.
I
Yeah,
mean, I thought I had it all, bro. Like I said, me spending money, it was nothing. Right? I was single. My kids were taken care of. I had my properties. I could spend the money. So then I'm like, this is great. I'm successful. Nah, bro. Now when I sit on my farm, when I ride my horses around, the peace of mind that I have there, bro, you couldn't have asked for anything better, man. I mean, life is, at the end of the day, you could have $1 million in the bank and I have the peace of mind that I have right now. You know what I mean? I would not trade
yeah,
that for anything, and like you saw how it is, you know, people, they could go to the yard, they could spend thousands of dollars in a 5-star hotel and not be happy at the end of the day. And you remember when you sat on my farm, how things were. You know what I mean? We all get along there. We had a good time, and it's
yeah.
something out of this world. It's something that, you enjoyed it. Thank God, you and Nan when y'all went. Everybody that goes there enjoyed it because it's so peaceful, man. So for me,
You can't help yourself but enjoy it, man.
that's what success is
Yeah,
for me now, man. Kids are great. Everything is marching, thank God, man. And I always thank God for everything, all the blessings that I have, man.
yeah. the advice I have for folks is look, figure out what success is and what it means to you, not what it's like for others. You fabricate your own definition of success and go for
There
it,
you go.
whatever that is. Don't try to copy someone because you think that is success. Figure it out on your own. Some people they love working, man. They do, and there's nothing wrong with that. If that you enjoy working and they love their job, and for them that is success, being able to do something they love. That's
There
great.
you go.
You should go do that. Some people may want to move to the DR, right, and get a farm. Some people may want to move to a beach in the Caribbean. Whatever that is, I think you just gotta go and pursue it, man. Because uh, the past, it's gone. The future is not here, but what we have now is today, the present.
Exactly.
What is it you're doing
Yep.
right now? And time flies,
There
man.
you go.
So you gotta go for it.
Exactly.
So Ralph, what advice would you give someone if they're thinking about moving to the DR?
First thing would be, there's a lot of videos and, a lot of podcasts out there now, about the island. Go visit. Do not be afraid, going out there and actually visiting or talking to someone that lives there. I'm pretty sure, somebody will know somebody that that could put you in contact, and answer any question. But definitely, take the time to go visit. DR is great, but again, it's like living here in the US kind of. You go to places that are, where millionaires live, right? You go to towns, like somebody like me would live, that farmland, stuff like that. So take the time to go visit. Like you said to Juan, you could live up in the mountains. I have mountains there, my farm, or you could live up in the beach. It's what exactly where you want to live at. So take the time, get familiar if you're going to make the decision. And it's a big decision, so get familiar with the place you're going to move to and stuff. Ask the questions, and there's always going to be someone like me that will be able to, answer some of those questions or get you in contact with someone that will definitely answer the questions.
That's cool. I would add to that, wondering if you agree with me, but I would add to that um, when you go there, like you're saying, don't go there like on vacation mode. Go there for a month, for at least a month, and live in an area where you see yourself living, right? So get an Airbnb in the same area so you can experience that area for a whole month. Because anything shorter than that, you're just thinking, I'm on vacation,
Exactly.
So but eventually, if you move and you're gonna, I think most people get a honeymoon stage, and then eventually they start crashing down when you realize, okay, these things are not new to me anymore. Now it's more of I have a life routine here, and now you live there, so. I think people will get a better idea on what it's like to live there if they stay there at least a month.
I agree.
What do you think?
I agree 100%. Definitely. And sometimes that is even the case for me. I go to DR for 2 months. The first month that I'm there, like I leave everything for the last month. I'm like, hey, I'm here, I'm on vacation. Let me get a drink in. Let me go ride the horses. I'm on vacation. Then the next month, I'm like, okay, I got to work. I came here to actually do some work, but definitely, like I said, just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid if you are really thinking about it. Not only DR, but any other place around the world, go visit, make yourself used to at least become part of the culture. You know what I mean? Learn about the culture and stuff and make the move.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, Ralph, we got into the point in the podcast that I like to call rapid fire.
All right, let's do it.
This is where I ask you this very short questions, pointed questions, and the idea is for you to answer as quickly as possible, right? To see what's on your head, what's really Ralph thinking. So if you're good with it, you ready?
Let's go.
All right. What's your favorite farm animal?
My horse.
Sunrise in the DR or sunset at sea?
Sunrise in the DR, 1,000 times.
All right. One fruit treat that you plant anywhere if you could.
Mango tree. I,
Ooh, I love those things,
I
man.
just wish I could have them in my
Oh,
backyard
they're
here.
so good. I didn't know they had them in the DR until I went there, man.
Everywhere, bro. My farm.
I saw the first time I had them was in Thailand, and it was like, oh, you guys got mangosteen here too.
Bring a
Heck
pickup
yeah.
when you at it. When you go to my farm, I'll give you thousands if you want.
All right. So what's a tougher challenge? Navy deployment or farm harvesting?
I'll say Navy deployment. So I had to spend a lot of time away from the family.
Yeah. That's to me, that's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the same
Yep.
thing. So what is there a book out there that you recommend people, or a podcast that inspire you, that you would recommend to folks?
Your podcast now, man. I'm not book. I glance.
Oh man,
I glance over and them and stuff, man. But I'm more like I started listening to podcasts, man, and I truly enjoy yours, man, and your travel channel and stuff, bro. Definitely enjoy it.
Well, thanks, brother. We're hoping to inspire others to think outside the box and to let them know, hey, there are other options right out there. You don't have to kill yourself working until you're 70 to enjoy 3 days of retirement. There are more cost-effective options out there that you can do. So,
okay, 100%.
All right, what's the best Dominican meal?
Arroz, habichuela y carne, rice, beans, and chicken.
Hey, me too. I love that, man. I had that in your farm. That was amazing.
There you go.
Remember the time Nan was helping? Wasn't El Mulo?
Yeah. Cook.
The cook, El Mulo. She was helping El Mulo cooking it. Oh, that was the bomb. That's my favorite.
I'm still not over that, and eating those little peppers in the farm, and I'm still not over that, man. I don't know how she did it. Yeah, but
she does that all day long, man. Yeah, she loves her chili peppers.
Yeah.
All right. One tool or piece of gear that you can't live without on the farm?
It's a tough one. I'll say my coffee pot. I love coffee, bro.
Your what?
Coffee pot. La greca.
The coffee pot.
Yeah, okay. That's twice a day, 3 times a day, man, in the yard. That's what my guy does there, bro. He knows I get in the morning, he got to brew the coffee.
Got the coffee ready.
Midday, and then right before I leave in the evening, bro. That's 3 times a day coffee there.
And Dominican coffee is freaking awesome, man.
I could survive with La Greca anywhere I go.
All right, what do you miss most about the Navy life?
The camaraderie, man. I've built friendships that will last a lifetime, like you, brother. You know what I mean? I'm still in talk with people that I went to boot camp. You know what I mean? So it's like you build a family that when you transition over, you actually, the beginning, I was missing that. You know what I mean? But then I'm like, okay, I still talk to these people, but that was my motivation at the end for me to go to work and stuff. It was like when I knew I wanted to retire, it was the people that I work with, man. They made it worthwhile. And when you retire, you actually, I speak for myself at least. I miss those times that I spent, with the buddies, the brothers and sisters that I made in the military, man.
Well, Ralph, man, I want to thank you, man, for sharing your story and giving us a little glimpse of into your life after the Navy. From leading at sea and to now leading in the farm in the Dominican Republic. But thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks for opening up and sharing everything with everyone. For those of you listening, don't forget to subscribe, comment with your biggest takeaways, and share this episode with people you know.
Definitely.
All right. And if you have any questions, Ralph's contact information will be here in the description box.
And Juan, thanks for having me, brother. And for those of y'all looking at his page, and thinking about retirement, don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. There's a lot of resources in place now. A lot of us that made the transition, I'll say I had a successful transition, that will be able to help you out. If you're afraid of making the transition, think about it. Like Juan said a little while ago, you don't have to wait until you're 70 to retire. I'm 44 and I retired and I'm living an okay life, so don't be afraid. And like I said, Juan is doing a great job, bringing some of us that retire, to speak here. So thanks for having me, brother. And like I said, we're always in contact. Anything you need, I'm here.
Well, I always learn from every guest here. That's the idea for everyone else to learn. Thank you. Appreciate it. Well, I'm Juan, and this is Liberty Call. Until the next one.